Hello, my name is Sonali Chopra. Welcome to another episode of Around the World in 7 Days. Please forgive us for what our ancestors have done to your ancestors. I want to assure you that we will search with you the answers to those unanswered questions whose search have not let you live in peace. These were the words of the German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier speaking to the people of Tanzania. He was emotionally apologizing to the people of Tanzania. Now you might be wondering why so. Actually, during the colonial period, many European countries had crossed all limits of barbarity which cannot be forgotten even after centuries. That destruction is still recorded in the pages of history which has not allowed people to sleep for years. How can anyone forget that exploitation which has affected not only the present but also the past and the future? If this devastation could have been forgotten, then neither Holocaust Day would have been celebrated in the world, nor India would have celebrated August 14 as Partition Horrors Memorial Day. History has seen many such barbarities. Mankind has been fighting with many conflicts till date. But now with the changing times, all the exploited people of the world are expecting an apology from their exploiter. However, the exploiting countries of that era have now started taking initiative from themselves as well. In fact, apologizing for sins may not bring forgiveness, but apologizing definitely makes the mind and heart lighter. Perhaps thinking something similar, Germany has also apologized to Tanzania. Recently, when German President Steinmeier was on a visit to Tanzania, he said, "Please forgive us for what our ancestors did to your ancestors." Now you will ask, what is Germany apologizing to Tanzania for? What did the ancestors of Germany do for which the President of Germany now has to apologize? We will find answers to all these questions through this episode. But first, let's take a look at Tanzania. Tanzania, or United Republic of Tanzania, is a country in East Africa. It is bordered by Kenya and Uganda to the north, Rwanda, Burundi and the Democratic Republic of the Congo to the west, and Zambia, Malawi and Mozambique to the south. Whereas in the east, it is bordered by the Indian Ocean. Tanzania is also called the cradle of mankind. Here some of the oldest human settlements were unearthed. Also, evidence of fossils older than 2 million years has been found here. But this cradle was a victim of severe colonial exploitation. Many countries of Europe had plundered Tanzania's resources. It was once a flourishing country during the period known as the Shirazi era between the 13th and 15th centuries. But during the colonial rule, it was subjected to such severe exploitation that it reached the brink of poverty and starvation. The development of Tanzania at that time can be gauged from the fact that when Ibn Battuta visited its 𝐾𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐻 area in the early 1300s, he described it as the best city in the world. Its economic prosperity can also be understood from the fact that the city of 𝐾𝐾𝐤 was one of the earliest trading cities in the world to use money. But when Vasco da Gama reached the East African coast in 1498 AD, the fortunes of Africa started changing. This is where Tanzania's period of misery began. By 1525 AD, the Portuguese had captured many coasts of Tanzania. After this, its Zanzibar island became the center of slave trade. Gradually, Tanzania became a victim of exploitation by all the colonial countries like Portugal, Oman, Dutch, Britain, France, Belgium and Germany. But the scars of the brutality that Germany inflicted on Tanzania during its colonial rule have not been washed away till date. Historians estimate that about 3 lakh people were killed by German colonial authorities during the colonial period in Tanzania. After the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, Germany acquired several colonies in Africa. It was named German East Africa. It included parts of today's Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi and Mozambique. Since the main objective of the colonial powers was to exploit the resources of the colonies by developing their parent country, Germany also did the same. To fulfill its objectives, Germany adopted a violent, repressive policy. Germany not only established control over it through violent policies, but also imposed many types of taxes to raise maximum revenue. Forced labor was also imposed on natives. Apart from this, the policy which most exploited the people of Tanzania was adopted in the year 1902 by the governor of German East Africa, Count Adolf von Gottschalk. He forcibly ordered Tanzanian villagers to grow cotton as a cash crop. This increased opposition to Germany in Tanzania. In fact, due to this policy, on the one hand, they were forced to do back-breaking labor, while on the other hand, men had to go away from their homes for work. Due to this, the burden on women also increased. This weakened the socio-economic structure of Tanzania. The situation became worse due to the drought that hit the area in the year 1905. As a result, a rebellion broke out in Tanzania in 1905. The leader of this rebellion was 𝐾𝐫𝐤𝐻𝐿𝐴. During this time, the natives of Tanzania showed strong unity by taking the help of spirituality and magic and attacked the German soldiers with their ancient weapons. Wearing millet stalks around their heads, armed with hooded guns, spears and arrows, they vowed to drive the Germans out of their country. But unfortunately, they could not succeed. They could not compete with the German guns. The real barbarity of the Germans came to light when, to take revenge on the rebels, they went from village to village and destroyed crops and other food sources. This led to a severe famine throughout Tanzania. It is estimated that about 2.5 lakh people died due to this famine. This is the incident due to which the President of Germany has apologized to Tanzania. However, even after this rebellion, Tanzania could not become independent from Germany. Tanzania gained independence from Germany after World War I, when the region came under British rule following the Treaty of Versailles. But Tanzania as a whole finally gained independence in the year 1961. Well, it is not the first time that Germany has apologized to one of its colonies. Even before this, Germany had apologized to Namibia in the year 2021. Germany had recognized the massacres committed during its colonial era as genocide through an agreement with Namibia. It has also offered to provide funds to help the affected communities. In such a situation, it is clear that Germany is leaving behind its colonial heritage and looking for a way for peaceful coexistence. Like Germany, if all the former colonial powers try to move forward with their colonies, then many problems prevailing in the world today will be solved. Not only will this help the underdeveloped or developing countries, it will also remove the bitterness that has been prevalent in various countries for centuries. So that's all in today's discussion. See you in the next episode. But before that, let's note down a question based on today's story. The present countries should apologize to their former colonies. Discuss this statement in the light of Tanzania-Germany relations.